Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Information is power. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Information is power.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Information is power.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
What's up, everybody? Peace and blessings to you all out there today. Apologize. I was having some technical issues going on with the equipment here, and I thought maybe that I was going to have to do this one tomorrow evening. But as it is, we're going to do this right now as everything is up and running and everything's working fine. This won't be a long stream, but it will be to the point. And I want to get into this because when I ran across this story, and maybe many of you have ran across this story already, it really disturbed me. Let's tell by a show of votes in the chat room if you have heard of this story. If you have heard of it, put 7s in the chat room. If you have not heard of it, put 1s in the chat room. Let's see what the verdict is before I get into this presentation today. I want to appreciate everybody that's come over to the program. You know, when it comes to this program, this channel, this content, that we don't play games over here. We don't get into the nonsense that goes on these YouTube streets. We don't get into the personal issues with other YouTubers. That's just not my style, which is why you don't see me running around on these damn live on these panels when there's not constructive conversation sometimes going on, and sometimes on some panels, like over at Black Men Unfiltered on his channel, and there's some others out there like him that have constructive conversations. I think Sir Hale Speaks has constructive conversation on his channel. I respect those type of channels, but I just don't have time for the nonsense because we have too many fish to fry. We have too many difficult issues that are going on, like this one in Mississippi, where you have a young black man who all of a sudden he disappears, and his mother, Bettersten Wade, she's 65 years old. She's been going to the police for the last 7 months trying to find out what happened to her son. How could he disappear like this? This is the mother right here, 65 years old. This is in Mississippi, and we know that Mississippi has the highest number of black people in this country, heavily black, or people would say African American, whatever it is that you like to use, to your heart's content. Very large black population, yet it's a black population under siege because they're in a state that is riddled with racism, has a historical history of racism, and I'll debate anybody about that. Nobody can debate me on that because history has documented it. History of the Ku Klux Klan, you name it. And in Jackson State, or Jackson, Mississippi.
Tell the truth.
Let me say Jackson, Mississippi is the capital of Mississippi. And you know they had all sort of issues with their water issues. And the state is pretty much run by conservatives so next time you hear someone tell you that conservatives conservatives are just as bad as Democrats, they both screw you in the end, one with Vaseline, one without Vaseline, being the Republicans. So you have a Republican-ran state where they're trying to gentrify and get black people out of the capital, and not wanting to spend the money that it takes to fix the water, the plumbing, what have you, out there. That we saw that situation, and Mississippi's just getting worse and worse, everybody. Black people, Mississippi has a history of police brutality, racism, brutality, white supremacy towards black people. Black people have been thrown in jail for doing damn near nothing. Let me also take you to this story right here. Remember, before we get into the meat and sauce of today's program, remember, this is the one you got to remember, how 6 Mississippi, check this out. Remember, there were 6 Mississippi officers. This is another incident of the Mississippi police. Like and this is what I'm telling you. Police have not been friends to black people historically in this country. I don't care if you got black cops, white, it doesn't matter. Historically, the policing in this country has never been one of friendship to black people, yet they have on their cars to serve and protect the community. We don't feel protected, and you damn sure ain't serving us, because at the end of the day, we've been buying into this indoctrination that police make us safe. No, they don't. Usually what happens is that police show up after the damn crime has already happened, taking notes from you. They show up after you've been violated. They don't solve it. They're not stopping. They're not keeping the community safe. They come in after after you've been violated. We know that policing historically came out of slave patrols. When you go back and look at the history of slave patrols in this country, that's where it has its history from. That's where it has its origins. Now, remember this story. How many of you remember this story in the chat room? Put sevens in the chat room if you remember this story too. Remember, there were 6 Mississippi police officers who literally tortured 2 black men. Remember that? There's an article in the AP about how the 6 Mississippi officers tried to cover up their torture of 2 black men. And there's been protests about this. I just want you all to get a picture of what I'm talking about. It's about truth, everybody. It's about talking truth on these YouTube streets, which is rarely happening. Activists have marched towards the Rankin County Sheriff's Office in Brandon, Mississippi. Back in July 5th, they were marching, 2023, calling for the termination. This is in the beginning of this situation, calling for the termination in the prosecution of Rankin Sheriff's Brian Bailey for running a law enforcement department that they did. They terrorized, brutalized black men. 6 white former law enforcement officers in Mississippi have pled guilty to a racist assault on Michael Core Jenkins and his friend Eddie Terrell Parker, who are black men that suffered under their bullshit. Jackson, Mississippi, this is the capital, largest population there. Men who had sworn an oath to protect and serve were huddled on the back porch of a Mississippi home as Michael Corey and Jenkins laid on the floor, blood gushing from their mutilated, where one of the police officers shoved a gun, meaning the tongue, ladies and gentlemen, the tongue. You saw the YouTube streets right there. The tongue, his tongue was damaged because the police were putting the weapon in the mouth. I want you to understand the importance of this, what I'm telling you here. This is just to give you a lay of the land of the problems in this place we call Mississippi, which has been the hotbed of racism, white supremacy, oppression of black people, redlining of black people, Jim Crowing black people, you name it, they've done it. They mutilated his tongue where one of the police officers shoved a gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger, y'all. Pulled the trigger. As Jenkins whisked in pain, the 6 white officers devised a scheme to cover up dozens of stunning acts of brutality that they had just carried out during the 90 minutes of terror against Jenkins and a second black victim we know as Michael Corey. The officers planted drugs on them. You know the usual stuff that they do to us. They stole surveillance footage from the house. They tried to just, get rid of it, delete it, get rid of it, and other evidence. They agreed on a set of lies that would further up in their victims' lives. Carefully to avoid security cameras at the house, they bust in and without a warrant. They busted in without a warrant, starting physical, sexual, and physical abuse. They handcuffed Jenkins, one black man, and his friend Eddie Terrell Parker, poured milk, alcohol, chocolate syrup all over their faces, then forced them to strip naked and shower together to conceal the mess. They mocked the victims with racial slurs. They shocked them with stun guns. I'm going to stop it right there because this is horrible, horrible. We're talking about horrible, horrible stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about horrible, horrible stuff. I'm laying out that case because this happened way before what has just happened to Dexter Wade. Now, let me put Dexter Wade's picture up here right now. This is the picture of Dexter Wade. This is him with his daughters. He was a father. Let me give you a highlight of what this situation is. Mississippi mother claims that white cops hit her black son with a car and buried him in a field at what they call a penal farm without telling her for almost 6 months. Well, actually, it was 7 months. A penal farm is where they bury John Doe's, people that they don't know the identity of, but they knew his identity, ladies and gentlemen. They knew who he was. They knew who his mother was in the community. They buried him there after off-duty police officers hit him as he was going across, I think it was a street or across a freeway or some sort of road. And you may say, well, why was he walking across a road like that? The bottom line is they hit him, buried him. Then for months and months, when the mother was looking for him, never told her, lied to her, act like they didn't know what happened, like they don't know where he was. And she's asking for help and help and help over and over again. Nobody's assisting her. And all this time, the police department in good old Mississippi, I don't even know why black people want to live out there, but good old Mississippi, they lied as they've been lying. They were lying in the 50s, they were lying in the 40s, they were lying in the 30s, and lying in the 1920s. They've been lying and lying and lying and lying, lied to her and said that they didn't know anything about it, where his whereabouts were, so on and so forth. She couldn't get answers. Dexter Wade, 37 years old. Here's another photo of him as a child on the left, as an adult man on the right, who has 2 daughters right here, was a father. Of course, you know what the media is going to do. They're going to try to find out anything negative about him. Oh, he smoked weed. Maybe he's been in and out of jail. No, there's been no reports of those things as of now. But we have Dexter Wade, who was 37 years old, was accidentally, now this is what the news report is, he was accidentally hit by off-duty Jackson police officers. And isn't it interesting that they don't never tell you the names of these scourge of the earth? Why don't they tell you the names of these individuals? Ladies and gentlemen, can you dig what I'm saying? Why is it that they never tell you the names? You already know when they don't tell you the names of these police officers, you know what their race is. Because normally when white men go out and do what you just saw just a few days ago, what happened out there in Maine, when you got white men going out there with weapons and taking out people and deleting people, they take their time to tell you, oh, what their name is. They take your time to show you their picture. Oh, they start talking about, oh, it's about mental illness and how he struggled and how he lost his job, right? So they try to paint this picture to make excuses for the behavior, while they just say, oh, these off-duty police. What were 2 off-duty police doing driving on the road like that to hit a man on the road, then don't have the audacity to make sure that they identify the family that he's a member of, because they knew who he was. They knew who the mother was, because the police department was lying. And lying, ladies and gentlemen, I say lying. And the truth hasn't never been in these police down there in Mississippi, good old Mississippi, where the good old boys is at, as they say. Now, let's go further in this. Look at the mother right here, looking across the freeway, trying to figure out, this is the freeway that they claim that he ran across. I'm going to tell you right now, I think this was foul play personally. This whole story about a black man running across a freeway in the middle of the night, disappears for seven months. Nobody knows where he is. The mother doesn't know where he is. Then the police fail to tell her that they knew where he was because they buried him, or their off-duty police buried him. Something about that doesn't make any sense to me, ladies and gentlemen. If it doesn't make sense to you, ladies and gentlemen, put a 7 in the chat room. I think that there's more foul play to this than meets the eye. Now check this out, because why wouldn't they not tell her if everything was up and up, right? So Dexter Wade, her son, as you see right here, Dexter Wade was accidentally hit by an off-duty Jackson police officer in a SUV on March the 5th, so they say. The police alleged they did not notify, check this out, the police allegedly did not notify the mother, Bettersten Wade, 65 years old, left his body unclaimed for months, ladies and gentlemen. This brother you see right up here, for months before burying it in a Hinds County penal farm burial where they put a number. They don't even give you a name when you're buried like this. Let me show you some photos right here to actually wake y'all up today. Wake you up, wake you up, wake you up. You see right there? Let me give you a little closer number. Here go the numbers. What they do in these penal, check this out. Look at far to the right. You see that number right there? 672. This is the game that they play. This is where they bury people that they see as John Does. But they knew who this man was. They lied to the mother, had her running around town trying to find out what happened to her son. Yet they knew that they had buried him in a county penal farm cemetery. That's what you can call this. Now, Dexter Wade speculated that now his mother, Miss Wade, they said speculated. Nah, she ain't speculating. She telling the damn
Tell the truth.
Speculated that there is a vendetta against her over a separate law. See, this is the effortry that's going on in Mississippi. Over a separate lawsuit she has against the law enforcement due to a manslaughter of her brother by another Jackson police officer. Do you understand what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen?
Tell the truth.
This sister right here, Bettersten Wade, Miss Wade, I'm going to say Miss Wade, the mother of Dexter Wade, who had two beautiful daughters. She's saying that she believes that they did this to her due to retaliation for her filing a lawsuit against them for manslaughter because they took the life of her brother. So she's got a lawsuit against this police department already, y'all. I want you to really dig what I'm saying. Take it all in, ladies and gentlemen. Take this all in. Share this video. Share, and share alike. Share this video on all your social media. Share this in your community tab if you're a content creator. You know I bring you the real. I bring you the issues. I bring you what's really going on today, what's really happening, what we should be concerned about, what we should be aware of, how we should analyze and assess what is happening today. Not conversations and content that you can't do anything with right now. You might have family that live in Mississippi right now. I brought up the other case of what the 6 officers did to 2 black men, torturing them. This is not the tip of the iceberg. This has been going on for years. They literally ran over her son, put him in a unmarked burial with, a burial ground area with just numbers, no name, no gravestone, no proper funeral, did not notify the mother, was not truly honest with the mother about what happened to her son, did not explain any details about what they did to her son. Had her trying to figure out what happened to him for about 6 to 7 months. They strung her along, and then they finally come out and say, "Oh, by the way, ma'am, well, gosh, you done. Well, gosh, done. Gosh, you done. Gosh, done. You know, I'm a redneck, and, you know, I think they buried your son over here at the penal farm." It's pure bullshit. I'm going to say it again. It's pure bull. I got to censor my.
Tell the truth.
Let me let you get some more details here. I have a video prepared for you. This is fair use with the purpose of parody, the purpose of critical analysis, critical thinking, news reporting, criticism and the whole 9 yards. This is fair use under 107, USC 17-107. Let's get into it right now. This is fair use, ladies and gentlemen. Fair use. I want you to watch this and watch this with knowledge. Let's go.
On a story of death and mystery and anger over an apparent lack of good police work and accountability in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm talking about the story of Dexter Wade, who we now know was killed less than a half hour after leaving his home back in March. But his family only found that out this month. Wade was struck and killed by a Jackson police car, apparently, as he tried to cross a highway nearby. And even though police knew exactly who they hit within days of that accident, officials...
You hear that, folks?
Tell the truth.
They knew exactly who they hit within days of the accident. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Tell the truth.
They knew exactly who they hit.
His mother, Bettersten Wade, would spend the next 7 months. She would spend 7 months looking for her son.
7
It
months.
wasn't until 172 difficult days after Bettersten last saw Wade that they came together again, this time at his
Look at the mother's. I want y'all to see this.
looking for her son.
Look at her. She is in emotional distress.
It wasn't until
obviously.
172 difficult
You see her there because they found where they buried him.
days after Bettersten last saw.
I want to stop it there because I want you to see the emotions of this mother you see right here with the picture of her son. Look at the emotions on her face. The family of the man hit and killed by police car, not notified of his death for 7 months. I think there's more to this story. I think they're bullshitting with this whole thing about he was hit running across the street. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something to him.
Tell the truth.
And they're trying to bullshit us.
That they came together again, this time at his unmarked grave in a state-run cemetery. NBC's John Shoup is the reporter with this story. John, we're glad to have you with us today. It is the details here are just extraordinary, right? Because essentially what happened here is this 7-month-long mystery for this family, despite police apparently, according to official accounts, knowing for months who they hit, where he was buried, and not reaching out to the family. How did this happen?
That's one of the questions that we have, is how exactly it happened. But we know some details and a sketch of what happened. It began, as you mentioned, on March the 5th when Dexter Wade, he's 37 years old, left home and never came back. It turned out not far from home, not long after he left, he was struck and killed by an off-duty Jackson police officer.
Let's read this right here. Let's understand what we're looking at, folks. On March 5th at 7:30 p.m., Dexter leaves home, okay? At March 5th at 7:54 p.m., struck and killed by a Jackson PD vehicle. Now, this one doesn't make sense. Some stories say that these guys were off duty. So which is it? Are they off duty driving their own vehicles? Because it said he was hit by, or were they on duty? See, that's the one thing. You've got reports saying that they were off duty. Then you got reports saying that they were on duty. Something doesn't smell kosher here. Now, the evening of March 5th, prescription bottle with Dexter's name found on his body. Why does that sounds really, this whole thing doesn't sound right. March 5th, 7:30 p.m., Dexter leaves home. March 5th, 7:54 p.m., struck and killed by Jackson PD vehicle. Evening of March 5th, prescription bottle with Dexter's name is found on his body. March 8th. So if they found his prescription the same date, why did it take them 7 months to tell the mother that they had her son, that they had killed him by striking him with a vehicle? That's the story that the police are telling. Should we believe that story? Should we think critically and say, what has been the history of police in Mississippi with black people. We already got the story about them torturing 2 black men. There's other things that's been going on in Mississippi over the years. Police have never been the friends of black people historically in Mississippi, and they don't maintain to be friends right now. So can we really, given all that history, can we really believe what they're telling us? Now, on March 8th, the coroner's office gets next of kin information. On March 9th, the crime lab confirms that Dexter's identity, they confirmed his identity on March the 9th, but yet they made the mother, that you see right here, they made this woman wait for 7 months. This is some bullshit, y'all. Are you with me? If you're with me, hit those 7s in the chat room. Preach to you, everybody. Another CG, Black Anonymous. Okay. Beverly Palmas, I'm glad you're here. Jill's Chocolate Boutique, if you're here. Thank you for being here. Empress Goddess, if you're in the house, I appreciate all of you that are here. This is a very important breakdown that we're doing here. March 9th, the crime lab confirmed Dexter's identity. March 14th, Dexter reported missing by mother because she didn't hear from him since March 5th. Something doesn't make sense. July 14th, now we're in July. Dexter's buried in state-run cemetery, a penal cemetery. If you're with me, ladies and gentlemen, put those 7s in the chat room. If you're with me, Alicia, I see you, my sister. Thank you for your support. I appreciate all of you that are here. Dotson, I thank you for being here. Divine Wisdom, thank you for being here. But look, folks, this is the kind of stuff that we need to be aware of what's going on. How many of you were aware of this story, that you knew about it, that you heard about it recently? Put a 1 in the chat room. Because it hasn't gotten national attention like it should, but I think it's going to start blowing up because this whole thing is a mess. Okay? Now, on July 14th, Dexter was buried in this state-run cemetery, penal farm, they call it. August 24th. Put a 1 in the chat room if you were aware of this story before I talked about it today. August 24th, the police informed Dexter's mother of his death. August 24th. October, Dexter's mother visits his unmarked grave. Here it is. Here go the pictures of her going to find his unmarked grave. You have one of the sheriffs who ain't worth a bag of fries, those damn sheriffs down there in Mississippi who are responsible for all of this mess. They're not worth a bag of fries, y'all. Here is more pictures. There she look over to the side of the left. You see her with family. And then you look to the picture, this picture to the right side, and you see her bending over, very upset. You see this whole picture here in its full scope. So there are some people that were aware of this story. It's a damn shame. We should always bring gravity to these stories like this. And then here is another picture of the gravesite 672, I believe is maybe where they have him buried, or maybe not. And then right here is where she laid some flowers for him. This is where they buried him. No gravestone, no name, no nothing. Just throw him in the dirt, cover him up with dirt, like he's a dog, like he's an animal, like he had no family, he had no nothing. He had family. He had a mother, he had family, he had children. Now, what do you tell the 2 daughters when they say, "Where is my father?" And see, let me just tell you right now, this is a black man with his children. And you know that the stereotype is that black men, we don't take care of our kids. We're not in our kids' life. That's all bullshit. There's a lot of black men in the life of their children. So what do you tell the 2 daughters when they say, "Where is daddy? Where is daddy, grandma?" What is it that she's going to be able to tell them? So now you have 2 black children, once again, that will grow up and won't have a father. They just threw their father in these woods like this. I want y'all to examine everything that I'm showing you. Here's where they buried him at and put some flowers. August 24th, the police informed Dexter's mother of his death, but they knew who he was way back in March 9th. So why did it take from March all the way until August to inform the mother about his death? Then in October, Dexter's mother visited the unmarked grave. Why did it take all of... Folks, let's hear the rest of this.
A coroner's investigator arrives at the scene, takes his body back to the examination table, finds a prescription bottle of pills that has his name on it. The coroner's investigator calls the hospital where he got the pills, gets the next of kin, who's his mother, Bettersten Wade, and forwards that information on to the Jackson Police Department's Accident Investigation Squad. Meanwhile, the mother, Bettersten, has no idea that any of this has happened. On the 14th of March, reports him missing to the missing persons unit, and for months is checking for updates and searching for him and gets no answers. Meantime, it's not clear why, but she was never told that they had him in the morgue the entire time. So ultimately... Stop.
Whoa. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Tell the truth.
Let's tell some truth in it. Did you hear what he just said? That once they identified Dexter Wade, and Bettersten Wade was the mother of 65 years of age, that once they knew exactly who he was, he still remained in the morgue for months. So they knew exactly who he was, who his people were, and didn't tell the mother all that time, just kept him on ice in the morgue for further more time. You see the BS here, ladies and gentlemen?
Someone figured it out within the Jackson Police Department and let her know. And that's when she realized that while she was looking for him, they had assumed in the coroner's office that he was unclaimed and arranged for him to be buried in a pauper's field. And so as you showed the pictures just earlier, a minute ago, that moment came a couple of weeks ago where she finally got to see the grave marked only with a number of where her...
Boom. So his grave, I was correct. His grave was marked with 672. 672 you see over there to the right. 672 you see squared up. This is a shame. Let's continue.
Son is buried.
I know, John, that you and the team pieced this together from interviews with his family, the coroner's investigator, court records, documents provided in response to your request, a crash report, incident reports, other documents, office records. I mean, so much of this. It took a lot of putting some puzzle pieces here just to get, I think, some sense of what happened. And yet through it all, as of tonight, have you gotten any response from the police department itself?
None. As soon as just before leaving to come talk to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that you hear that. Absolutely no response from this police department.
Tell the truth.
This goofy police department that they have out there.
Tell the truth.
In Mississippi. How can that be? Let's continue.
I was reaching out to the city. They're preparing some sort of response, but I'm not sure that they fully comprehend of how this mistake was made. We have.
Boom. Let's stop it right there.
Tell the truth.
This is the BS, everybody. You see, he says.
Tell the truth.
We have no idea how this mistake was made. Now, how do we know, and how does he know that this was all a mistake? How do we not know that this was an orchestration to bring her pain? Because as I read before to you, Bettersten Wade has a current lawsuit against this very police department for the manslaughter charges that she's bringing against him for taking out her brother, for taking the life of her brother. She believes that it's, and the dumbass mainstream media won't say it, but she feels that it's retaliation for the current lawsuit. And for her to believe that makes you use logical thinking and say, Maybe it's because she's winning the lawsuit. Maybe it's because the lawsuit is exposing the police department. Maybe that lawsuit is going to put that police officer in question that did this to her brother in a lot of jeopardy. Maybe her lawsuit is have success to it. Just something to think about. Let's continue.
Notes, internal notes and documents that show what they knew. It's just not clear yet about why it was shared.
What does accountability look like for this family? Just quickly, John, what does that look like?
I think for Bettersten Wade, the mother, is just somebody to acknowledge that there was a mistake. She can accept if an accident was made, but just in.
Now, why is this white man speaking for this black woman? He says she just wants to know if there was a mistake or act. What are you talking about? This sister right here has already said that she believes that this is a retaliation against her for her manslaughter lawsuit that she has for what they did to her brother. So now you've got this dude on the news trying to think for Mrs. Wade as to her just wanting them to apologize. No, this is way past apology. This is lawsuit. This is reparations, baby. She needs to sue them for everything that this damn janky police department in Mississippi is worth. Let's hear the rest of this now. See, this is the thing that bothers me. White folks always think that they can speak for us and think for us. Now, he's sitting up there on that show as if he's quoting what she feels. No. Believe me, this woman wants justice, yes. But I think this woman deserves more than just a funky apology. Oh, ma'am, it was just a mistake that by the way, our police officers ran your son over, took him out, deleted him, and then they brought him to the coroners and examined the situation. They identified who he was because he had some pills on him, some medications that said who he was, and we knew who he was, but we decided to just throw him on ice in our morgue for a little bit longer. We know that we had your son, but we didn't do anything for 7 months. For 7 months, they say. So, she just feels, so you're just going to say to her, we're sorry that we screwed up. And she just going to walk away and say, okay, thank you. That's all I wanted. Bullshit. We got a lawsuit coming here. Sue them for everything that they're worth. Sue them for every penny. I don't care if their department goes bankrupt. Sue them for everything. Sue them for them vehicles, them damn uniforms, every goddamn thing that this department is worth. Sue them up to yin yang. Because they didn't care about her feelings when she was looking for her son. This is the nonsense that goes on, folks. This is the nonsense. Let's hear the rest of his nonsense.
And an apology.
Okay. She just wants to be heard, it sounds like.
No. See how the media plays their game? She just wants to be heard. What the hell are you talking about? She wants justice. She's already suing their police department. So that tells you what her mentality is that she's not going to just take stuff laying down. She just wants an apology and that's it? Nah. Stop it, media. Stop painting these bullshit pictures. No. Miss Wade is going to sue this police department. I think she's got a Benjamin Crump already on the task. I believe so. She's got to sue this department. She's got to sue them and hit them in the pocketbook where it counts and where it hurts.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
What do you all think about this craziness out here? What's going on, Brother Keith? Let's read what some people are saying. The mayonnaise man, trying to explain it to his people. I agree. She better sue. Yeah. You know, that what he said near the end, that's him projecting what he thinks. But that's the problem. Why don't they see, this is what bothers me about this whole thing that they did. Why didn't they have her on the show? Why didn't they invite her to be on the show to talk for herself and express what she wants to see happen? You see what I'm saying, everybody? Empress Goddess said that's what makes it so bad, that women going down to the police department, filing a missing persons report, and they already knew where, they already knew who he was, what's happening. They even know what happened to him because it was one of their own officers that ran him over, hit him. Okay, we got Jill Chocolate Boutique in the house. We got Mike B in the house rocking with us right now. We got 74 in the box rocking with us. Make sure y'all share this video in all your social media. That's what I'm wondering exactly, Mike B. I'm wondering the same thing. We got Black Anonymous in the house. Let's see what Black Anonymous is saying. He says, this should be a lawsuit of epic proportions. You are right. Give you a clap on that. Another CG says, I was wondering if Crump was on this. I think Crump is going to be jumping on this. Let me give a blessings and love to take heed to the message. My dear sister, most respect to you.
Tell the truth.
Peace. Facts. Facts on top of facts, ladies and gentlemen. On top of facts. Let's go over to Keith and see what he's saying. We talked about the mayonnaise man, which is just so you know, a lot of people think that Tariq Nasheed made that term up. I actually made that term. That's a term that came from this damn channel. And then he said it because he was watching my show, and then everybody thinks that he made it up. I coined that phrase, the mayonnaise man, y'all. I did. But anyway, let's go right here. Queen Sugg says the wife on the code they're on code exactly, and that's why we got to be on code. We got to be on. Yes, this is a heartbreak. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Just imagine, as I went over this, just imagine your son. Let me show you this again. Everybody needs to get this in their soul. Here she is, Miss Wade. Her son goes out, as I had explained in detail, and the news had explained in detail as well, that you saw, that you witnessed, you saw in the video. She's saying, where is my son? She has no idea. They already got his body March 5th. They found his body March 5th because they found the prescription medications. So they knew who he was. So she starts looking for her son, goes to the police department, and imagine they're telling her, we don't know. We never heard of him, ma'am. What happened, ma'am? Give us all the details. While she's giving them all the details, which is basically, hey, he walked out the door and I hadn't seen my son again. You see him right here on the picture as a child and as an adult. And the police didn't seem to give a damn. But at the same time, those police authorities within that Mississippi Police Department, they knew they already had his body and already had identified him. And now children, two beautiful daughters, will grow up and say, what happened to my daddy? Why is he not here? Grandma, where is daddy? Where's Papa? See, this is the bullshit behind it. This is because this situation will leave so much emotional impact. This is going to affect these young ladies emotionally when they finally understand or try to grasp what happened to their father. That's the shame of it. That's really the shame of it, ladies and gentlemen. And here she is walking to the site where they buried her son, never telling her that, hey, we buried your son in our penal cemetery. There's his number, 672. Buried him with no gravestone, no reverence to his life, like he was an animal, the way you would bury a dog. Hell, I think there's dogs that get better grave sites than this. Matter of fact, there are pet cemeteries in this country where actually four-legged animals are buried like dogs and cats, and they get a damn gravestone in the whole 9 yards. But this is how we treat animals like dogs and cats. We treat them better than we treat humans. And in this case, we treat those animals better than we treat black people, black men, black women.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Let's go back into the chat room and get your thoughts. This pisses me off. Okay. Another CG says handwritten number, can't even print it out. Damn shame. Hey, what's going on, Brother Rob? Good to see you over here. Brother Rob said this is a homicide. And yeah. Hey, Brother Rob, we on the same page. I don't believe, because I just went over that. Rob, if you wasn't here, I don't know if you was here, but I also talked about those 6 white Mississippi police who tortured those 2 black men and tried to get away with it by lying about what happened, right? I went over that just a few minutes ago to set the stage for what I'm talking about now, to say what? What is what? That is, Mississippi has a serious problem with their police departments and how they treat black people. And we already know, and I went over that historically, they have never treated black people appropriately in that state. So they want us to believe, with all that historical data, with all that racism in that state, all that prejudice, all that bullshit, that, oh, he's not alive. Dexter Wade, let me give him respect, put respect on his name, that I'm supposed to believe, Brother Rob, that this young man right here, Dexter Wade, is not alive because he simply ran across a highway, as the mother is looking right here at the highway that they supposedly said he ran across. And I'm gonna be honest with you, usually when you see people running around on highways like this, they're usually people that are homeless, maybe have mental health problems, right? I just don't know how often normal black men, or just black men in general, black men, we don't normally see black people in general and black men and women just getting on highways like this and running across highways. Well, it doesn't make any damn sense. So they want you to believe that he was hit by an off-duty police by accident, which I don't believe. If you believe that, folks, I could sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. Don't believe that. They want you to believe that in a state that has a history of police brutality and brutality towards black man and black woman. And we're supposed to buy what they're selling us? I don't believe that that's how he ended up no longer with us. I hope that the mother should get an autopsy. That's why if someone like Crump get involved, the body of her son needs to have an autopsy so that they can see what really happened to him. Because Mississippi police have a history of lying, planting evidence like they did to those 2 black men that they tortured, putting evidence on them, putting drugs on them, putting making them do things that were inappropriate in the shower room. Oh yeah, putting weapons in their mouth. Oh yeah. So how are we supposed to believe that these cops just happened to, the fact that they buried him, the fact that they had him in the morgue, the fact that this brother was in their morgue for several months and they knew who he was, and the way they did this showed you that they were already lying and being deceitful. So how can we possibly believe the police when they tell us that, oh, he was hit running across a damn freeway? How often do you see black men and women running across freeways? We're talking about the freeway, y'all, not the regular streets, the freeway. Look at this. See what she's looking at? Huh? How many of us, come on now. How many of us are walking on freeways, y'all? At night. Come on now. That ain't our MO.
Tell the truth.
Let's go back to the thoughts. Let's see. Keith West says, can't trust nothing from the mainstream media. They cover up stuff and mislead everyone. Yes, they do. None. Jill's Chocolate says none. That's right, my sister. Let's go into my man, Trap Vision is in the house. What's going on, brother? Let's give you a clap. Thank you, Trap Vision. Check out Trap Vision's channel. Definitely check him out. He's a great brother, great content over there. check out my man Trap Vision. Now we got Jonathan Kidd, who's come in strong, says none. Thank you, Jonathan Kidd. Clap to you, brother. Clap to you. Wellness with Fugo Mama says we barely walk on. Yeah, we barely. Right. That ain't our MO. You don't see black people saying, you know what? I think I'm going to go over and hang out at my boy's house, or I think I'm going to go get me something to eat. And you know what? Instead of me walking on the streets or jumping in my car or getting in the bus, I think I'm just going to walk up on this highway while you got cars running back and forth on the highway, and I want to play Frogger. You remember that game, Frogger? No, black people don't do.
Tell the truth.
Black folks don't do shit like that. We don't run around on freeways. We might drive on a freeway, ride a motorcycle on a freeway, but we ain't trying to run across no freeways. And where would he be going? Running from one bush to another bush? Look at this. What? He gonna be where his mother's at, and he gonna jump over that rail and then jump out there in that highway. What's that? Highway 55, Interstate 51. Come on, y'all. I don't believe what the police are selling us.
Tell the truth.
No way. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. Malone, hey, Marlo's music channel says exactly, brother. What's going on?
Tell the truth.
Look, everybody, this is Marlo's music channel. This is a good brother. He's been supporting me for many years now. Really good brother. Won't y'all do me the biggest favor and do him a great favor by giving him a subscribership to his channel, okay? So check out Marlo's music channel. This brother's very, he's prolific, great pianist, plays beautiful piano. Check him out.
Tell the truth.
All right. We got Don Red, who says they probably trapped him by chasing him into, man, woo, let me give you some, woo.
Tell the truth.
Woo, you may be hitting on something. You know, it's our theories here, but wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Ooh, woo.
Tell the truth.
Now you might have said something, Don Red. They probably trapped him by chasing him into the road and then ran him over. Ooh. Now, allegedly, but no, I like what you're saying. Maybe something happened. Maybe, you know how, look, folks, let's do some logic here. You know how these police like to track down black men. They'll stop us for anything. And I wonder if maybe they stopped him that night. And then he ran from the police. And in running from the police, they tracked him down in their car, which caused him to go onto the freeway, right? They might have hit him allegedly with their vehicle under other circumstances, and then conjure up this story about, oh, we hit him because he ran across the freeway that we were driving on. You see what I'm talking about? You made a very good point, Don Red. We know that when police engage with black men and black women, all sorts of effery can go down. All sorts of lies and distortions. Water Sniper says that Don Red, good point you brought, because many people still believe the police narratives about hitting him mistakenly. And check this out, Water Sniper. I don't buy it. Water Sniper, that's precisely what I've been talking about tonight, brother. I'm not buying the banana in the tailpipe that the police in Mississippi are putting out. And I don't think the mother should buy the same crack of garbage either.
This is pure bullshit, everybody. You can't believe what the police are telling you and how the media takes their narrative, tells me and you
Tell the truth.
that we should believe the bullshit. No, don't believe their narrative.
Tell the truth.
Don't believe their narrative, ladies and gentlemen. Don't believe their narrative. Let's go back in the chat room and read more chats. We've got my man, the DoorDash Revolution. He says that was on Highway 51. Right. So, DoorDash Revolution, are you from Mississippi? You know about Highway 51? What black person do you know where you live at, brother, runs across these types of freeways? I think what we just said in this chat room today, see this freeway right here? That's Interstate 51, right? Then you got 55 right there. Interstate 51, and you got Highway 55 right there. I think that's 55. But brother, think about it. Here's the highway. She's looking at the highway where I guess they told her, this is where your son was running over here. Bull crap. This is Mississippi, where they lie and distort and put and torture black people and prop up and lie and misuse evidence and plant drugs on us. We can't believe their narrative that somehow this young brother decided that he just gonna run across this street. No, they probably chased him down. They probably stopped him for some other reason, thinking that he was a criminal. And then something probably went bad and he probably tried to run away from them, right? Because those Mississippi police have some problems with the way they treat us. And then they might have allegedly, in our estimation, they probably got in their squad car or their car. They said it was an SUV, and they probably hit that young man, the young man you see right here before you. And now they can chump it up as, oh, he was running across the street and we kind of hit him because he started running. And then all of a sudden you bury him. Don't tell the mother that you had him in the morgue the whole time. Then you bury him in this garbage you call a cemetery of penal farm. And from what I understand, folks, when they went out there to see, from what I understand, there were also inmates that were out there trying to help them find where the son, inmates, guys that were in prison. Let's go back in the chat room and see what folks are talking about now. Okay, CG said this, another CG, the injuries did not match the usual. He came at me live. Right. Alicia, the beautiful Alicia is in the house here. She says DoorDash Revolution. Yeah, check out DoorDash Revolution, his channel. He's in the gig economy. He works, I think he does DoorDash and a few other, but he breaks down about the whole independent contractor food delivery business. Not to mention that the brother talks very highly about the importance of black businesses, supporting black business and what have you. So check out DoorDash Revolution, y'all. That's the platform. Let me see what he says here. DoorDash Revolution says Interstate 55, Highway 51. Okay. Let me see. He says this. I know that area. Okay, so look. You know that area. Do black people be running across that street? Not street. Do black people be running across that highway in the way that they claim that Dexter Wade did it? Is that a normal thing that you see out there, brother? DoorDash Revolution. And this is what he said, ladies and gentlemen. He said, nah. Other words, hell to the no.
Tell the truth.
So this is a man who lives out there. See, this is why you can't believe the lies that the police tell our community and then the lies that the media regurgitates that the police gives them. Now, that's a fact.
Tell the truth.
You can take that to the bank. RY is in the house. Thank you for being here. RY says that's not even culturally relevant. Us running across highways. That's true. That's true. That's not us. That's not what we do, y'all. Oh, here comes Earl Owens coming in with something to say. Earl Owens says, cannot allow them to get away with this, which is why you heard that news reporter saying at the end, oh, the mother just wants an apology. She just wants to know if it's an accident or not. That's bullshit. The mother is already, let me read this to you again. Let's put this in effect for everybody. I want to make sure that when you leave this stream tonight, that you've got the information, okay? This is what the mother has been quoted as saying. The mother of Dexter Wade, Miss Wade herself, Bettersten, speculated that there is a vendetta against her over a separate lawsuit she has against the police department, the same police department that claimed that her son got ran over by an off-duty police in an SUV. Is he on duty or was he off duty? Right? So she says that she has a lawsuit against them for their force due to manslaughter, their forceful manslaughter of her brother by another Jackson cop. She believes that this is about them trying to get back at her. For those of you who came in late, this sister right here believes that this is all about retaliation against her for a current lawsuit.
Tell the
because
truth.
this same police department did manslaughter, took the life of her brother. And now they took the life of her son. You see what's going on here? Connect the dots, everybody. Connect the dots. We got Chaos Rain in the house. Chaos Rain says, yeah, he agrees with what we're talking about here. Let me see. Who is this? Let's see. We got T.Y. Boogie says, damn shame doing black. Yeah, it's a damn shame. It's a triple shame. Keith West says exactly, don't buy into the misinformation and dishonesty of the mainstream media. 100% tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
That's right. Tell the truth. Jonathan Kidd says the blue wall with white hood. You're right. Right. Well, it comes, as you know, Jonathan Kidd, I don't have to tell you, brother, you know this, that this all comes out of what? Slave patrols. This is where policing has its origins. And when they created the policing system, it was always designed to keep us in captivity, starting with bounty hunters. You know, when you looked at all those old movies with the David Crockett, the guys be wearing the frontier, that they be wearing the little raccoon hats. Those were the bounty hunters that were hunting after our people. That's why I would never put one of those hats on my head. Remember back, see, I go way back. Remember back in the 80s when people were wearing them Foreign Legion hats and them raccoon hats? For some reason, them Foreign Legion hats and those Civil War hats, some Civil War military hats that people were wearing, for some reason that got real popular in the 80s. None of us should have been wearing that stuff, because the very stuff that you was wearing on your head is the type of clothing that the bounty hunters were wearing that were chasing after your and my ancestors. Queen Shug says, this reminds me of the Ahmaud Arbery case. Exactly. And we know how that turned out. They were lying against they were lying against Arbery. And Sister Empress Goddess knows the father of Arbery. She's in the chat room right now. She lives in that area. She knows exactly what was going on with that case down there. Jonathan Kidd says, yep, I remember them hats. Yeah, and guess what? We shouldn't be wearing them hats. Them hats have a history that has nothing to do with us other than the people that was wearing them oppressing us. I remember that because, you know, I grew up during that time, Jonathan Kidd. I'm 53 years old, brother. I'll be 54 November 13th next month. Checking in. Hey, what's going on, Tony D? Much respect to you, brother. Earl Owen says, cannot allow them to get away with this. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've done all I can do on this particular issue. We got T.Y. Boogie X says, yes, information man, policing started in colonial America to control slaves. Yes, I just Googled it. That's right. That's right.
Tell the truth.
I'm not lying to nobody over here. You can research this. Of course, you'll have some police officers. I can't. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something before I get out of here. I was on a panel one night. This was several months ago, maybe a year or two ago, and there was a guy on that panel, black guy, a couple of guys that were police officers, and they were black, and they tried to tell me, "Oh, policing didn't come out of slave patrols. That's all a lie." And no, it didn't, because it started in New York. No, before they had a organized, uniformed police force in New York and in this country, you had bounty hunters. And when they created a unified police force, they recruited the same guys that were chasing us, chasing our people when they were in slavery, chasing us and enslaving us back, putting us back into slavery. Those same bounty hunters that would come up north from the South and would capture black people that were actually free, which is why if you go back into history, at nighttime, you had a lot of black people back in those 1800s. Black people didn't really hang out at night because the bounty hunters would be going up north to recapture people and bring them back down south. And when they created an organized policing, which, you know, with the uniforms and the whole 9 yard, guess who they ended up recruiting? The same people that were working as bounty hunters that were enslaving us, and they had hired them same overseers on the plantation. What's an overseer? That would be the guys that would be whipping our people with whips, the ones that would oversee black people working in those cotton fields and would be oppressing us. Some of those individuals would join the police department as it got organized in a structured system, which was designed to keep tabs on us. That's facts. That's probably where the bee in the house before the streets lights come on came from. Exactly. Because remember, see, we think that if black people got to the north from the south, that they was safe, that everything was like, everything is good. No, you still had bounty hunters from the south that would still go up to the north. Y'all seen the movie 12 Years of Slavery, right? You still had bounty hunters that would creep up into the north, and they would look for any black person they could, or a black person that ran away from a plantation that they could identify, or a black person, and they would snatch you up and take you right down, back down to the south, even if you never had been a slave. Let's say you were a free black person all your life, born free, right? Because you did have black people that were born free, you know? There were some black people that had never been in shackle slavery, that were born in the north and never experienced being a slave. And then a lot that did. And then there were some that were slaves and got captured and brought back to the plantations in the south, because you still had people think that once black people got to the north, that was, oh, it's safe zone now. They're on a safe base. None of these bounty hunters are going to come to the north and do this because it's illegal. Nah, even if they weren't supposed to do that, they were still doing it. And them same suckers eventually became police officers with uniforms on their back once policing became organized and bounty hunting started to become a thing that became sort of like not the end thing. So those same suckers who had them David Crockett hats and them raccoon hats and them rifles decided they traded all that shit in and put a uniform on eventually to do what? Terrorize our communities. Tell me I'm lying. I dare anybody. Let's see. You had a lot of sundown towns that goes by that bounty hunter code. Thank you, Jonathan Kidd. Jonathan Kidd, thank you for coming in today, brother, and all of you, because you guys are really putting the information out there for everybody. Fantastic. Let's see. And check this out, everybody. Let's not forget. You still have places in this country where that sundown stuff still exists, where black people bet not be in certain areas in this country because we could be under arrest. Matter of fact, we're the only people in America that really can't drive across this country without some concern about somebody like a police officer stopping us when we're totally innocent. We're the only people in America who really can't drive across the country. And I'm going to tell you right now, I will get on a plane and fly to where I got to go before I get in a car by myself or with my family and drive across this country in some of these backwoods areas. Hell to the no. And you better be careful driving through Louisiana, because I heard Louisiana is a real hotbed of problem for black people when you drive. If you got to drive, you drive around Louisiana. You don't drive through it. You're going to be in a world of trouble. Same thing in Florida. See, we're the only people in this country who can't even freely get in our cars and drive through all of America without anybody hassling us. We can't do it in our own country that we were born in. Or what we think is our country. You know, you hear what I'm saying to you. We can't. We can't. Remember, they had the Green Book where black people followed a map of where they could drive, where they could go get food, where they could lodge and sleep, where they could go get gas, because at one point in time, black people couldn't travel in this country and have a normal vacation like anybody else. You had to have a Green Book. You had to have, black people had to map out a safe passage for you to drive across this country. Ain't that a damn shame?
Tell the truth.
Information is power.
Everybody, I'm about to end the stream. I think I've said all I could say for today. I'll hit y'all back with another stream next week. I've been wanting, I've been honest with y'all now. I'm being honest with y'all. I'll be wanting to upload podcast videos for y'all, meaning pre-produced videos for y'all sometimes, but sometimes I'll be tired, man, you know, during the week, working and everything like that. Sometimes I'll be like dead tired and I just don't have the energy to produce the uploaded video sometimes. But I got to do it, you know, because I said that's something that I was going to do on this channel. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to suck it up and try to put out some because I have another video that I want to do related to this whole the Israel and the Palestinians and should black people be getting ourselves involved in that. I'm going to do a podcast uploaded video that I think you're going to get a lot out of and it'll make you think. Or maybe I should go live so I can get you all opinions about it. But I just want to say peace to everybody in the chat room. Thank you for your support always. Alicia, I see we got Wellness with Fugo Mamas in the house. Earl Owens, who drops a message in here saying, when I was in the Army, I was stationed in Colorado. I would drive back to Tampa. I never stopped in Louisiana. I kept it pushing. Yeah, don't drive through Louisiana. I've heard people say that a lot. Do not drive because they're interstate, they're troopers, they're police, they're troopers. They are nasty. Stay away from that. Stay away from driving up in them weird little places in this country. Don't mess with it. RY says Kansas, Montana, Idaho, Maine, Washington, Oregon, Utah, Wyoming, North, South Dakota, Nebraska, etc. All are no for me. Look, like I said, if I got to go somewhere long distance, I'm getting in a plane. I'm sorry, I'm paying the money. I'm getting in a plane so I can get there the same day or the next day or the same day, and I can be in a nice bed and get to where I got to go in a decent time. I'm not driving across this country, staying in no motels, getting on these interstates, getting on these crazy roads with these crazy troopers. With my black self, hell to the no. Y'all better take that to the bank. No, we don't need to get involved in that. Right. But I'm going to show you, because there's there's a young black male and a young black lady, two students, black students at Harvard who are taking up a protest against what's happening, and I'm going to tell you what's happening to them because of them doing this. I'm going to do that and let y'all hear that. Maybe I'll do a pop-up show this week and go live on that issue. Maybe I should do that. My man, Marlo's Music Channel, brother, you take care, brother. Everybody share this video on your social media. Tell people about the channel. Also, everybody, to everybody out there, if you like sports, you like football, college football, you like what's happening with Deion Sanders, Colorado, and CU, and Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, make sure you check out my other channel. It's called Prime Sports Media, Prime Sports Media. It's on this page. Subscribe to it. Be a part of the family over there. We got about 26,000 subs on that channel right now. And check out the Facebook page for that channel. It's called Prime Sports Media Facebook page. Got about 78,000 people over there on that page. Go check it out. I'm doing a lot of different things on these YouTube streets these days, which is why I'm tired. But I enjoy bringing content to you guys on this channel of this nature. And I thank you. I'm about to get out of here. Tell somebody that you love them. Go have a great meal, have a great drink, make love to the person that you love. You know, men out there, let's love our women. Okay. Ladies, love your men. Let's be happy. Let's enjoy our lives as best we can under these crazy times and conditions, which do make it very difficult to enjoy our life. But we got to do something to enjoy, because you know why? None of us are promised the next day. You know how it is. None of us are promised the next day. So we have to live each day like it could be our last and enjoy what it is that we do have, even when there are some hard times that we deal with, folks. So with that said, let's get on out of here right now.
Tell the truth.
Take care, everybody. Peace.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
You've been listening to the Information Man Show. Thank you, everybody.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
I'll see you on the YouTube streets.
Tell the truth.
Information is power. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.